Hi, my name's Elizabeth McQuaid. If you haven't seen me before, and if you have, hello again. I got prompted by my energetic team to do a video. Now, I'm not always comfortable doing videos, but I'm getting prompted to do them more because there's more information that needs to get shared. Things need to get spread around, and I can't do that if I'm not sharing it. So I'm having to step out of my comfort zone a little bit to do this. But I do have a couple interesting stories, some about myself and some about what's going on with the work that I do that you might find interesting. So about maybe 6 months ago, I had an experience. I was walking down the stairs, and it was almost a spirit popped up, and it was just like they were there. And it was a person who was a friend of our family and had died in the 90s due to AIDS. And I was like, I said hello to them. I said, hi. I said, what are you doing? And then they they scooched away, and they disappeared. And then later that day, or the next day, excuse me, when I was waking up from dream state, it was like he was standing in my house so clear as day, and he said, no one remembers me. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, no one remembers me. And he shows me this box with like carbon paper. I don't know if you're of the age where you know what carbon paper is, but back before photocopiers and stuff, if you wanted to write something, several copies, you put a piece of paper, then a carbon paper, then a piece of paper and carbon paper, and you'd write and press really hard through. So he showed me a piece of carbon paper, a little photo with him as a child, and this big empty cardboard box. And then he flashed me this image of a street that I wasn't familiar with. And he said, yeah, that's all that's left of me. And so I looked at him and I said, okay. And I said, well, you have a daughter, because I knew he had a daughter. And I looked at her briefly, and I could see that she was quite intuitive. And I could see she had a picture of him in her home. And so I told him, I said, your daughter can hear you, and she can hear you like I'm hearing you, and see you like I'm seeing you. I said, you should go talk to her. And so he did. And then it wasn't that long after, again, just waking up from dream state, I was shown an image of him, and he was so happy. He was smiling, and he was surrounded by light, and he had beautiful friends around him, or loved ones around him. And so I was like, wow, I guess he hadn't fully transitioned over when he passed due to various reasons for his own journey. And somehow, because my mother was a friend of his, but she has dementia, so he's probably looking for someone that remembered him, and I remembered him, but my mom doesn't because she has dementia. So that was a beautiful experience. But I kind of wondered why that happened. But then shortly thereafter, I had a health crisis at the same time as my daughter had a health crisis. And it was quite an intense time. There was a lot of trust involved and having to go with the flow. And so one day I was sitting at my piano, just, tiddling around, and right beside my piano is this lovely big plant similar to this one. I've got a big plant beside it, and literally I was asking the universe, I'm like, could you just help me out here, show me what to do? And this head pops out of the plant, and it's someone I knew from a long time ago, who had passed, and he came to say, hey, it's going to be all right, you're going to be fine. And he gave me some advice, and I was so touched by it because I needed it at that moment. At that moment, I needed to physically and visually hear and see that it was going to be okay. Even though I was quite strong during the whole process and felt like it was going to be okay, I needed some sort of validation. So, and that was so special because I was not thinking of that person. They just popped out of the blue, kind of using, I think, the energy of the plant that was beside me at the time. So, and then after that, I had a succession of different people who passed coming forward to either offer advice on how to proceed, or just saying that they were going to be there during various procedures that I was going to be having. So it was so comforting. I almost tear up thinking about it. Whew. But so anyway, I guess why I want to share this, or why I'm being prompted to share this, is because it's quite moving when you need support, and um, you can't, you're looking for support and you're looking for proof, and you get it, and it's quite a relief, but overwhelming at times. And so the interesting thing was also around that time when I was doing sessions, uh, people were having more mediumship come up during the sessions. And I would say, like, when I first moved to Alberta back in 2016, prior to that, when I was living in New Zealand, a lot of the work I did was intuitive work, or healing work. And that seemed to be what people really liked. And when I moved here, I found it just seemed like there were so many mediums in Alberta. I'm like, wow, there's a lot of mediums, more so than healers, if that makes sense. And I remember once this lady, she wanted a session. She's like, yeah, I want to talk to this person. I'm like, oh, I don't even know if I can do that, and I think I attempted and probably did so. But I've found over the years since being here, it's come in more and more. And I've tried to explore it, but it never seemed like the right time until after my experience personally with spirit coming to me and giving me support and advice. I realize how important it is. So because I'll get images, I'll get information from people's energetic team, but there's nothing quite like when it comes from someone the person knows or knew that lived in this life. So I was led to, it was coming up more in sessions, but I thought I just need a bit of support. So I came across a beautiful mentor, a mediumship mentor, and I had some support from her, and we explored kind of different things, and it really helped me really get a real solid understanding of what it is, the mediumship in a session. And so now since then it's been coming through a lot more as well. So for those of you who, have had sessions from me and may have had me do some mediumship, it has shifted quite a lot, and grown as does everything, right? In life, we learn, we grow, we reach a certain level. We're like, this is good. And then all of a sudden we're nudged to learn and grow and reach a new level. So that's what I've been doing, in regards to my professional work, which kind of interlace with my personal development, as sometimes that does. Anyway, so if you're looking for a session that involves a mediumship, you can just book a regular session and we can incorporate it into the session itself. My schedule is somewhat limited at the moment for evenings and weekends, but if I do occasionally have days that pop up that are available, so if you find that you want a time that's during the day, just pop me an email and I'll let you know if I have some space coming up. But other than that, I just wanted to give you a little, information about that, and that we're not alone. That's one thing I really have come to fully understand, mind, body, and soul over this last 6 months to a year. And not that I didn't feel it before, but I feel it and I understand it on a very different level. So I'm always beautifully surprised by what the universe has in store for us. And I look forward to connecting with you guys again in the future, and a bit more via video is what I'm being told. So I wish you all a beautiful day and all the best.